It's hard to see all of what goes on in the city. That's why we got Maddy Skyeline. It's time for Maddy Skyeline.
It is the Blitz, 1250 ESPN San Antonio, 94.5 FM, ESPNSA.com. Maybe you're watching on our Facebook Live or on our YouTube channel. I'm Jason Minix, Quinn Hudson, our Rock the Mic champion, host of the Sunday Sports Grill, in for Rob Thompson, as we're joined by Maddy Sky from the San Antonio Express News. It's time for Maddy Skyeline. Happy Fiesta.
Everybody.
All right. I think we've pushed all the right buttons now. Happy Fiesta, Maddy.
Viva Fiesta.
There you go. All right, so let's start with Fiesta, because you've got an article. Did you do Nyosa last night?
I did.
You did. All right. So I've seen, now you've got an article at My SA that talks about the experience. But I've seen some on social media, and again, a lot of people like to just bitch on social media. But apparently the line to refill the money on your wristband was longer than any beer line in the history of Fiesta, according to some. What was the experience like last night at Nyosa?
I feel like that's a little excessive. I honestly did not have to refill my wristband. I bought $25 and that was enough for everything that I wanted.
25 must be nice to have dudes buying you drinks all night.
Nobody bought me drinks. I bought everything myself. I got all the essentials for $25. But I did see that there was a line, but I will say I had to stand in line to actually pick up the wristband because I goofed and I forgot to buy it online. And it only took me like 5 minutes. And I think it was pretty comparable to the refill line, if not longer. So I don't know if I had luck that everybody was going really quickly or what happened, but it wasn't to the point that I was like, oh my God, this line is so long. So,
but overall, a pretty easy process. I would assume some of the people that I saw bitching are also ones that write a check at HEB.
Maybe. I was a little annoyed that we had to still like go through the process of picking up the wristband, and there was something else. And I was like, well, that doesn't really make any sense. But the wristband process was easy. Once you had it on and you know what you wanted, you just went by and flashed your wrist. And then I was confused after the first booth. They didn't tell me how many credits I had. Then I noticed afterwards, every time I would buy something, they would tell me your remaining balance. So helpful, because obviously you can't count your coupons anymore. So you don't want to, show up and stay in line, and then you get to the front of the line and you won't have any coupons or credits. So yeah, I liked it. I kind of hope that's the future of Fiesta, is those tickets, because it was really easy.
Hi, Maddy. This is Quinn. So it's my first time getting a chance to talk to you. So it's nice to talk to a socialite who can kind of show us the way around town. I have a question. With the wristbands, was it like a will call kind of situation where you go off to the side to get the wristbands, or how did that work?
Yeah. So like I mentioned before, I didn't buy mine. I knew I was supposed to buy mine in advance, but I forgot, or I thought that I could just buy them there. I think you probably could buy them there, but what I did is I saw the line, I got in line, and literally the amount of time it took me to fill out the form and put in my credit card information, I was done right before I showed them my QR code. I was done probably like 2 minutes before. So I was just like, I bought it online and just picked it up literally seconds after I ordered it.
And it makes it easy. And again, if you've gone to, like ACL or some of these other festivals where everything is done on your wristband, it's easy. The knock for, like Fiesta and some of these other events that we're used to going to is at the end of the night, you can't give your extra coupons to somebody else, or
that's the thing.
Or you can't borrow some. There's not, like if I bought tickets to something, I could transfer it to you or screenshot it to you and it could still get used. By what I'm reading on these wristbands, because even, like my wife and I were talking about this, because we haven't decided if we're going Thursday or Friday, because my daughter is flying in tomorrow. So it will kind of depend on her social schedule. But like, do we each get a wristband, or is one person, my wife, going to be stuck standing in line the whole time, just with more money loaded onto that one?
I think you could probably go that way. I don't think there's a rule. I don't know if I'm speaking incorrectly, but I think you can do it that way. I know one of my friends had 2 credits left on her wristband, and she won't be going back. I'm going back on Friday. She won't be. So she gave me her wristband. So when I will time to refill, I'm going to refill hers.
So it's a removable band? Like if you...
I mean, they secure it pretty tight.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's like, can you pull it off and hand it to somebody else? Or, Can you just keep the wristband in your pocket and whip it out and swipe when it's time?
You're gonna have to have a friend with better bone density to be able to kind of trade off.
And I mean, you put it when we were there yesterday. We were putting them on ourselves, so I don't like anything too tight on my wrist. So
and again, it's just something new and different, and so obviously some people are going to be bitching about it. On our Facebook Live, Steve Sosa says line was long early in the day, but wasn't too bad. Only bad thing is you can't combine your leftover credits with somebody else's.
Yeah, maybe they'll make a change next year that you can
keep in mind it's for a fundraiser. If you think you're going to drink $50 worth of beer, do 50. If you think you're only going to drink $20, do 20.
So if you're down to your last and you're down to, I'm down to my last, can we go half on a chicken and stick? You know what I mean? Like you're a couple credits and I got a couple credits.
Quinn, we know each other not well enough to share a chicken on a stick. Other people, you could do that, but it also depends on how you like to eat your chicken on a stick, because Maddy has rules for the proper way of eating it, which I always break.
Wait, what is this?
Etiquette.
What is this?
You have to see. I never really want to be that person that's like, "Hey, dip it in the jalapeno juice for me." And they don't offer, so usually when I go, I just bite the jalapeno about halfway right to the juice, and then you squeeze the jalapeno juice all over the chicken.
That.
Yeah, unless you don't like the jalapenos because they're too hot and you're too much of a wimp to eat the jalapenos.
Well, sometimes it's just a matter of it could be high risk to do that in the porta potty world. You need to be a little bit more true to what your body can handle.
It is gross, but that's Gwen Hudson. All right, so Maddy, one of the other big stories. Speaking of gross, some dude dove and was diving in the San Antonio River.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like we can make fun of the river, but I don't like other people making fun of the river, and that's what
I have had the unfortunate experience of being in a canoe that overturned in the middle of that river and literally threw everything I was wearing away, including my shoes. Was
that recently?
No, it was years and years ago. It was probably 2010, 2011. We were doing the Ford, the Ford River Canoe Challenge thing, and our canoe was kind of going to the side. Remember Monica Taylor from KBB? Mm-hmm. She T-boned our canoe and knocked us into the water. Wow. It was gross. It was gross. There was things growing on my clothes before I got out of the water, man. I feel bad for those drunk people that fall in.
Did you take in any of the water when you went under?
No. I don't think. I'm still here, so I'm going to say no.
Yeah, so this guy, his YouTube is Jigging with Jordan. He has like two first names. I think it's Robert Jordan or something along those lines. He has two. His last name is Jordan, but he does these like scuba dives into crazy places of water, bodies of water. And so he had tried coming to dive in the San Antonio River in November, but was stopped because he didn't realize that you can't just go in there. And so he worked with the city. The city figured out a plan for him to come back. And so last weekend he dived into the San Antonio River and found a whole mess of beads. I don't know if it was from Fiesta or the Mardi Gras celebrations, but a whole mess of beads, cell phones, of course, really old cell phones. They've been there. They made it through all the cleanups. You don't usually have those like annual cleanups. I guess they lasted, unless some person had a really old
they
cell
drain the river once a year, and it's always amazing the stuff that they find in the San Antonio River, including your phones, your necklaces, your rings, and that sort of stuff. So I'm surprised the dude found an old flip phone.
Yeah, he found like an old BlackBerry looking situation. But I mean, maybe somebody had one in 2019. I don't know. But a lot of the responses were so mean from everywhere out of San Antonio. Tell us how you really feel. People who have visited that were just making such a big deal about how quote unquote gross the river is. And it's like, okay, we know it's murky, but you don't have to go that far.
Murky.
They were like, they need to wash that man in antibiotics, and it's rude.
There's some.
Okay, I get
dude,
it.
I know a guy that used to run a restaurant down on the Riverwalk, and he used to joke about when the dishes were too tough to clean, they just threw them in the river. So you don't have to mess with them anymore. That's why there's so many forks in the river and knives. I mean, the dishwashers, man. I'm trying to get out of here. Throw them in the river. I'm done.
I always found it fascinating that they dye the river green on St. Patrick's Day, as opposed to what color it normally is.
Well, it's a different green.
Oh,
it's more of an emerald green.
Gotcha.
For St. Patrick's Day. Maddy Skyeline, who should have had a Sports Center top 10 moment with the catch she had of the wedding bouquet on Saturday night. Anything else happening this weekend outside of Fiesta?
I'm gonna go try the new P. Terry's tonight. So we'll see how that looks. I'll have a first look tomorrow on my essay. That's what I'm getting ready for. I'm going to rush there after work And yeah, P. Terry's. The only time I've ever tried it was in Austin, and I actually liked it. So
P. Terry's,
we'll see
the
how that
fact
goes.
that they're coming to San Antonio, that's one of those little burger joints and the milkshakes that they have. But everything there at P. Terry's is good. And I know they're opening one on
Yeah.
Fredericksburg and one on 1604 over there near Blanco, that little shopping center.
Yeah, the one I'm going to is off Wurzbach. That might be the one, the Fredericksburg, Wurzbach. Fredericksburg and Wurzbach intersect, right?
Yeah, over there in the medical center.
Mm-hmm.
You're going up to the medical center. Peter, is it open, or is this some sort of special people preview night?
I think it's a preview night, and then I might be opening like this weekend. I'll get the details for you.
Perfect. P. Terry's is good. You're going to eat well tonight.
Yeah.
It won't be on a stick though.
Pretty much. No, be on a stick. I might go to Fiesta after though, so I might get some on a stick action.
There you go.
Fiesta.
Have fun. Maddy Sky off to P. Terry's. I'm jealous. Have a great week. We'll talk to you next week.
Bye, guys.
Appreciate it. Maddy Sky from the San Antonio Express News as she joins us every Wednesday.